So I keep my comedy simple. I don't improvise, I don't use props, I don't do voices. I hear voices, I just don't do them. So yeah, before I was a comedian, I was a doctor. But like a few years ago, I decided that like part-time mental health stand-up comedy would be so much more lucrative than medicine. So I just decided to have my residency let me go. Had nothing to do with those voices I just talked about. No. So you'd think during this whole pandemic that I'd be so much more useful, but like I got my degree back in 2009, which is basically obsolete at this point with the pace of medicine. Like back when I was in school, we had like antibiotics we could still use, and like our patients could afford their insulin, and like we could treat pain with pain medicine. But like that's like me when I was in school learning about leeches for bloodletting and the widespread medical uses of cocaine. So since I have no marketable skills, I've ended up on welfare. Guys, we need to talk about all those people on welfare that you see in the grocery store line whipping their food stamp cards out of their designer purses while holding their iPhone and buying organic quinoa. Holy crap, that's me. Guys, it's been a long way to fall from being a doctor to being on welfare. I used to think about all the places I could go to dinner. Now I think about all the ways I can cook a potato without electricity. Like a few years ago, I was even on the verge of homelessness. I was all set to move into this house, and it turned out to be a crack house. So long story short, you can't turn a crack house into a crack home. But I was one of the lucky ones. I quickly found a place to live. It's an apartment for people with mental health challenges, which if you've been paying attention, I qualified for. But like the catch is it comes with a roommate who also has mental health challenges. So like after a few tries, I finally got a roommate that has the cleaning type of OCD. So before she moved in, the only place that was ever clean in our whole apartment was the shower. Cause like you get two of us depressed at the same time, that shower just doesn't get used. It's just totally clean. So anyway, so yeah, this new roommate, she's great. There was a spot on the floor that like, I thought was just part of the design. It came up with this process called scrubbing. Is that how you say it? Scrubbing, right? Yeah, I hadn't heard of it either. So like, my roommate though, she's 19, like super young. And she moved in, she's adorable, and she's like, oh my gosh, you were born in the 80s? The 80s? I'm like, yeah. That was my favorite historical period. That one stung a little. So I guess I am aging a little bit. Like, you know, one day you're young and wild and free, and the next you're writing a strongly worded letter to a dish soap company. You know, one day you're young and wild and free, and the next you're working air fryer in every conversation. One day you're young and wild and free, next you're waking up with an injury. So, as I've aged, I picked up this balance and walking thing, and I had to use a cane quite a bit. It's been terrible, but also terrible is my mom died a couple years ago. The only thing that's gotten better is the walking thing, so I no longer have to worry about stepping on cracks. Step on the cracks, right, mothers? Speaking of dead parents, so my dad died in 2010. I thought, sum his life up best on his headstone, I'd write, lived, loved, laughed. So like, how was I supposed to know within like 6 months it would blow up all over the world, pillows and everything, live, laugh, love. I turned my dad into a basic white woman for all of eternity. But live, laugh, love stuff was everywhere. At the Target, and Bed Bath & Beyond, and Hobby Lobby, everywhere. So now my poor dad is up in heaven getting super excited for pumpkin spice lattes. He's day drinking rosé with the others from the book club. And my mom, she was super excited to get to heaven to see him. She had to wait for the HOA meeting to get over. Who knew there were HOA meetings in heaven either? So anyway, I don't know about you. It's been a rough couple of years. Like with the pandemic, and I've been having a lot of insomnia. My mental health challenges have been in full swing. So like, I've been watching a little bit of late night television. Like late night, like middle of the night television. Does anybody remember the show Everybody Loves Raymond? Yeah, it comes on at like 2 in the morning on some of those channels. So I happen to know that the main guy, Ray Romano, loves a good ham and provolone sandwich. You may be thinking, how? Well, I was watching the show one time. He said, "Hey Molly, make me a sandwich." I'm like, "What kind?" He said, "Ham and provolone." I'm like, "Ray, I only have turkey and Swiss." He was pretty demanding. So I got in my car, bought some ham, some provolone, some fancy mustard. He was pretty demanding. So I got back to my house, and he was on to the next episode. I made the fanciest ham and provolone sandwich I'd ever made. I sat it there next to the TV, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited for him to eat it. The show went on to like I Love Lucy or something. He did not eat his sandwich. And so I ate the sandwich anyway, because waste not, want not. It's pretty good. Anyway, it's about then that I realized, like, maybe something's going on upstairs, because I just made a sandwich for a guy on TV. So, like, I decided maybe it was time to call the crisis line. Pro tip, if you're making a sandwich for a guy on TV, just skip the crisis line and go to the ER. They're going to tell you to go to the ER. So I got to the ER, and they didn't put me in the like lockdown psych part because there was a sandwich and it wasn't like gonna hurt myself. Anyway, so they put me in the regular ER part with a sitter, who's basically somebody that like makes it so you don't take your clothes off and run around the ER. Not that I speak from experience on that one. But after like an hour of complete silence with this person, I finally was like, "Are you real?" She's like, "Yeah, do you want a sandwich?" Thanks, everybody.